What is up? It is Andy coming to you on a Friday to deliver some NHL Sniffs. And we got a decent slate on this Friday. What is it? About 5 games on our hand? And as always, this episode of the show is going to be this constant conflict, the Venn diagram of the smart picks I want to give, the donkey front page picks you guys seem to demand the most, and that overlap where we can hopefully find something in the middle that pleases all. So as always, I'll try to open up. I'm not even betting these things, but if I was, like if this was me 5 years ago, here's what I would be betting. You ready? Let's start in Carolina, where we have these Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Vancouver Canucks. The Vancouver Canucks, they are vying for that final and 5th position. I mean, they don't want to be there, but it's between them and the Utah Coyotes to be the 5th member of the Scam 5. I really think Vancouver has the inside edge because people give them a lot of credit off of last year. Meanwhile, you know what I was saying about them during the playoffs. So I think they are a natural member to really take the Sabres spot going into next year. But anyway, that's a conversation for a different day. We have Carolina coming off a solid win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They were scoring a bunch of goals. They're going right back on their own home ice against these Vancouver Canucks, who I'm just not that impressed by. They played a low-scoring game against the Washington Capitals the other night. After that offensive outburst by Carolina, when you start to get depth scoring, and that supplements the top 6, because one of the big things with Carolina, just so much of the offensive production had to come through that Aho and Jarvis line, and then Nate just having that career year early. Well, that slowed down. But as you saw last night, a Jordan Staal hat trick. So if that third line, which actually has Svechnikov on it, continues to operate, you have Blake and Drury on that 4th line contributing. So if you're getting that lower 6 contributions, I like what Carolina has to offer, and I don't have a lot of faith in these Vancouver Canucks. We'll see if Pettersson returns. That might be good. That actually might be bad. But I like the Carolina Hurricanes to win this game. I feel like the line, I was already moving on this. As I'm speaking, it's moving. But I saw it in like the 140s. But always, what's the number 2 option if you can't get that money line? You can take that over 3.5 goals. On a night where they scored a bunch, 24 hours later, those good offensive vibes and that good offensive chemistry should still be there. And I did notice that B.Burns, he assumed the spot on the top power play last game. That was something new. So taking him for a point prop could be interesting anytime you're getting that price of an old point prop. And yesterday, I know what I led off the Patreon talking about was that Adam Fantilli. He was playing with Marchenko, Voronkov. Now, he's swapping in for Monahan on that top line and top power play, yet his point prop is nothing of the sorts. It was like plus 140 when it opened yesterday. Anytime you can get those point prices that are built, they're built on the lower tiers, and then they get swapped up to the top level, and now they're coming in the plus 120, plus 130. Those are always point props, smart ones to take, even if you don't want to. And even on the other side, you have a guy playing with JT Miller and Brock Besser on the top line, Mr. Lekaramaki. That's right out of the Meka High Mekalaramaki Ho. He's on the 2nd power play, so at least he gets some power play 2 time. But I don't know. JT Miller seems to be creating most of the offense on that team. So looking at somebody like him, I think that might be a good point prop value in there. And when it comes to these point props, we are already here in this month after the first 4 days lost in this month. And you know how it goes. People start complaining, oh my God, it's over. The line combos for January, a weekend after starting 3 days in the red, are now at plus 20 once again. Are you seeing a trend? October, November, December, January, we're at plus 20. So if you just take that and say we stay on that same pace, we're going to be plus 50 by the end of the month. Who knows? We'll see. We can go. Hasn't happened yet this year. So that's what I'm trying to show you guys. That's what I'm trying to implement. And it doesn't always have to be those ones that I give you. Like, look, where are we going once again on this slate? You throwing that number 1 down? You throwing that fastball down? Because Suzuki and Caufield are once again in plus money. Why are you taking money lines looking for plus 120s, plus 130s? Sure, you might be able to hit that Islanders against Vegas, but there are a lot of underdogs who just tend to get smacked. All you need, you could have a 6-2 loss And Caufield and Suzuki just get in on one meaningless goal in the third period. You got yourself a plus 125. Now, that's how you just kind of slowly build. But how do we get to plus 20 so quick? By looking at some of those line 2, power play 2 combos. We're looking at this game. Blackhawks, Red Wings. You have Kane going up against his old team. That's always alluring. You have Bertuzzi going up against his old team. That's always alluring, especially those are 2 combos. Once again in the last game, we had that Kane to Brinkett combo hit. These are 2 former Blackhawks going up against the Blackhawks. Am I going to say no to a Kane point to Brinkett point? Half unit, Kane assist to Brinkett point? I'm never going to say no to that. And on the other side, am I going to say no once again to the Tyler Bertuzzi point, which came through the other day with the Bedard point? That's almost plus 200. No, I'm not going to say no. But how do you really start to jump to plus 30 and plus 40 and plus 50 on the spreadsheets? By really taking some swings at higher priced combos. You look at that Barzal, Nelson, Anders, Lee line, that got us a plus 500 last night. Well, on the Detroit side, they're not always listed, but against bad teams, we have a line 3, power play 2 combo. I don't love the players at all. I've bashed on both of these guys in the past, but in a home game against a team like the Blackhawks just had that big win against Colorado. Let's see how they follow that up. You want to see them get smacked? Because now maybe people are like, they just beat Colorado. Of course they can go beat Detroit. You take Tarasenko for a point, JT Compher for a point. That's how you start smacking big prices. Is that going to hit? Probably not. But you play a couple of them, 2 out of 7 are going to hit, and you're well into the profits. That is the beauty of the spreadsheets. You just have to, like Bobby Deniro said, always know your lines. You just got to know the lines. You got to know the combos. You got to know what power plays they're on. And yes, he was talking about acting, but I'm talking about sniffing. We're talking about Compher, Tarasenko, both for a point. That's over plus 300. But then there's one game, while trust me, we all want to do it. We want to take Laferriere and Danault for a point. It's going to be like over plus 400. And it will be on the spreadsheet, and we will play it with our automatic picks. But as far as how I feel this game's going to go, where's this game going on? It's the Winnipeg black hole of offense, for other teams at least. So we have a couple different ways we can go with this. We can go with the under 2.5 goals with the Kings. That's like plus 105. Or I like the under for Danault and Laferriere in this particular game. That will get you a plus 115, plus 120. I think this game is probably of a low-scoring variety. These are 2 reliable teams defensively. Anytime there's playoff implications, you get way closer to real hockey than some of the fake hockey you see when the Islanders are playing Vegas and when Chicago's playing the Avalanche. So if that's going to be the case, you know I like to skew unders. So I could actually use Caesars here to get one of my decent deals. Give me the under 6.5, and then give me the over 2.5 shots on goal for Kyle Connor. I'm going to put that, let's call half unit on that, and then that same under 6.5 with the over 2.5 shots on goal for Adrian Kempe. That's what I got for you here on a Friday. There's a lot of Andy-esque sniffs on this card. If you want the full parlay card, you want that full spreadsheet, that will be available for you as always on the Patreon. I always want to tell you guys, if you want to support me, you want to support the content I do here, you enjoy watching these shows, you enjoy being affiliated with these shows, you enjoy being, this gets under 10,000. This is a small niche audience still. So if you want to support the show, you can do that over on the Patreon. But with that said, it's undeniable. It's truly undeniable. There's no false advertising. If you never look at anything I post, other than the spreadsheet, which you play every night. And also, don't you guys love having parlays in? The spreadsheet is just a laundry list of parlays. And then you have, and it seems like the people in the chat love having their bingo card. Oh, we got them. Oh, we got those two. Oh, we got those two. End of the night. Oh, last night we're up plus 12. It was a beautiful night. At the end of the month, it's a beautiful month, and everybody's happy. As happy as I am to get into this weekend. Anyway, I hope to see you guys over on the Patreon. Remember, like and comment and let me know some things in the comments. Also, be on the lookout for a Dave and a Dan. I got to edit that quick and I will get it out to you, a playoff edition. I hope to see you there on the video and on the Patreon. If not, I will see you on Monday for another round of NHL Sniffs. I'll talk to you then.